Hi, Peter Charles here of Hooked for Life, fly fishing or photography. Take your pick. It's Christmas time. Cheers. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Some lovely Weiser's 15-year Canadian whiskey. Lovely stuff. Today I'm going to talk a bit about photography. Now, normally I was planning on doing all this in March. I've got a whole bunch of videos planned and already on YouTube, scheduled for March release on photography. But I ran across something the other day that I need to respond to. Now, every year I like to look at DPreview. I'm subscribed to their channel. I get their newsletter. And I always enjoy Jordan, the video god, my video hero, and that other guy, the average fly fishing dude, who do a review of best and worst. Well, I always look forward to that. And they always have a drinking game. Since I'm by myself here and nobody to have a drinking game with, I'm going to have a drinking game of my own. But anyway. So, I was eagerly sitting down, watching what they were going to do and see how plastered they were going to get drinking all of that tequila this time. Oh, tequila. Ugh. And they started going through best and worst. And it was fun until they picked their worst lens, which happens to be one of my favorites. Jordan, my hero, bro, how could you let the still photography guy dump on that great lens? Okay, we know it isn't the sharpest lens in the drawer. However, I got a bag of primes upstairs that attack sharp. If I want super sharp, I'll go dredge one of those out. This little beauty is a video lens, and what's important is its video capability. Now, picture yourself as a Fujifilm engineer and management comes up to you with a list. They want it small and compact and light, yet well built. They want f4 constant aperture. They want superb power zoom. They want a broad range, 18 to 120. They want internal focusing. They want internal zoom. They want a lot of video important features like absence of breathing and stepless aperture and all that kind of good stuff. And then they say, oh yeah, and it's got to be $900 US. So, yeah, I mean, I can imagine the poor Fujifilm engineer doing the Japanese equivalent of oy vey and setting to work. So, of course, there's always going to be some wiggle room when you're designing a lens. They're all compromises, as we all know. So they're going to have to give somewhere. So it is not super duper tack sharp that you would want if you were taking pictures of brick walls. Well, I mean, when's the last time I ever took a video of a brick wall and where I needed sharpness corner to corner, right? Video, you don't need super sharp. Just reasonably sharp is going to do the job. It's all those other features that are important. So, Jordan, my buddy, you should have given the guy a swat and told him to go pick a Nikon or a Canon lens. So, next year, okay? You can't pick Fujifilm next year, all right? It's a rule. You're going to have to pick Canon, Nikon. I got a better idea. Pick a Leica. That'll really put the fox amongst the chickens. That'll be fun. Pick a Leica for the worst lens. Something like that. That'll be cool. Have some fun with it anyway. But, oh well. Happy holidays for those people like that phrase. And in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy using my XS10 with my 18 to 120. By the way, it's normally the camera that sits up here. I've got a mount up here. And I use this as my top camera for a lot of my videos. It's the only camera and lens I trust to work on autofocus. Okay? All the other lenses and cameras I've used over the years in this studio setup, I've always set them on manual or they're manual film lenses and there's no choice. I never use autofocus until this one. Great power zoom, nice and smooth, and you can creep it very slowly. The autofocus snaps in and snaps out most of the time. Sometimes the camera doesn't quite keep up, but that's not the lens fault. But most of the time, it's silky smooth going in and out. close focus on this lens is fantastic for a zoom, and it's close focusing from wide to tele, not just at one end. It's close focusing all the way through. It does a lovely job on close focus. So what's to complain? And the internal zoom and the internal focusing are just perfect. So, I mean, it makes life so much easier when nothing's moving and nothing's changing in the size of the lens as you zoom and as you focus. Paired with the XS10, it's a great, reasonable cost video setup. Yeah, it would be better with a H2S, but, you know, that's a lot of money. So if you don't got a lot of money, the XS10 and this lens, you've got a great video setup that is well within the budget of a lot of videographers, and you'll do great work with it. So just ignore the fly fishing guy, you know, when he's whining about the sharpness. It's a lovely lens to use. And Jordan, stick up for us video guys next time, okay? Cheers.